Okay, so I mentioned in my previous video that I had another experience with the warehouse that I wanted to speak on. So, what you see here is a text message that I received from an agency I worked for at a warehouse that I was assigned. So, here's what it says. My assignment was ending due to extremely low percentage, excessive downtime between car changes, and taking too long to get back into task after my breaks and lunch. I'll let you know once we have another opportunity available. Well, I never heard back from this agency. And when I reached out to them, I left a message and I never received a call back. When I received this text, things started to make sense. Because there were times I would come back from break and there would be a different login name on my scanner. And I never thought nothing of it. I would just log back in. So when the text said taking a long time to get back into task, that explained why. One day I came back from break and this guy says, he says, your cart might be a little messy because he had mistaken my cart for his. Well, when I looked at the scanner once again, it was a different name. And so I asked him, did he take the wrong scanner? But he said it wasn't his. There were times I would go to a location and the bin would be empty and I would get many in a row. And so it would take you out the system. I forget what it was called when you would get repeated empty bins back to back, but the scanner would prompt you to go to management. This action of going to an empty bin was beyond the picker's control. And this is why I said after my IKEA job that I was not interested in working any place that requires a goal that I'm not in full control of. And this is to anyone who works in a warehouse or considering a warehouse job. One thing you need to know is management has full control of the outcome of your performance on the job. The work in this warehouse or any warehouse that I have worked was not hard, and the people in the warehouse are not working any faster or any better than anyone else. And this thing of warehouses having an expected number goal is just an easy way of weaning people out they do not want working for the company, if you know what I mean. I've noticed where they have made special accommodations for people who could not fully handle the job of the expected goal, which is why I say this thing of a quota expectation only applies to some. And it's so sad, but this is what's going on and it will never stop. I had posted a clip of an episode that aired on 2020 on another social app titled Workplace Confidential. And they were talking about how employers will create a paper trail setting it up to make you look as though you can't perform your job. Now, I saw this in this episode 2011 or 2012, and it's still going on. And who knows how long it's been going on before that air. And it's sad, but this number quota game they play will continue on until employees stop going along with it because they don't act alone. The supervisors and managers and other staff go along assisting with their wrongdoing. And speaking of going along, there was a woman who was also employed at this warehouse and worked for the same agency as myself. She knew, and others probably knew too, that my assignment was ending. Well, she came to me and she's telling me about some places hiring, which I was telling her I'm not interested in looking for any full-time work. And the reason being, and the same reason of what I was dealing with at this warehouse, the same reason I was let go from IKEA in other places. I wasn't going to keep going through the same ordeal. Because the reason this warehouse claimed to have ended my assignment was not true. Not one person in a supervisor or management position came to me regarding anything in the text of the reason my assignment was ended. So whatever the reason, it's personal and has nothing to do with my having a poor work ethic. So this woman tells me about Spark. And so I told her I tried Spark and it did not work out for me. I was not receiving orders. And she tells me, she comes to me again at another time, again about Spark. She's going hard. Oh, you probably need to try certain areas. And at this point, I just let it go in one ear and out the other because she wasn't listening. I was not welcome to drive for Spark, but coincidentally, right around the time she tells me this, I get a ton of emails from Spark. I'm going, I'm going to do another video explaining more about my experience with Spark. But it's so sad how people just have no conscience when it comes to setting someone else specifically to lose their livelihood. So before I end this video, I'm going to play that 2020 clip I was speaking of. So here goes. Though there are laws to protect women from being fired. That's what people like me were paid, big bucks to do, is find the gray areas around the laws that would allow the companies to do what they want to do. Which is what 25-year-old Tess Adams says happened to her. She'd recently had a stellar performance evaluation when she was suddenly fired for cause. Her bosses said she was a poor employee. Why do you think you were fired?
I think I was fired because I was pregnant.
Do you think that maybe it was related to your work?
There's no way. No way. I never had a complaint until I told him I was pregnant.
In fact, Shapiro says the dirtiest secret of all is that companies rarely tell employees the real reason they wound up on the layoff list, for fear of being sued for wrongful termination.
We're going to need to go ahead and move you downstairs into storage B.
No,
we have some new people coming in.
If your office space changes for the worst, like in this film, maybe you're being managed out. A clever way companies get rid of unwanted employees, along with dead-end projects. It's all about building a paper trail, proving you're a poor worker.
The HR people are going to kill me for disclosing this on TV, but they will create documentation that makes the employee look like they're not doing their job.
They fake documentation?
They create it. It's all how you look at it, right?
Shapiro says she was fed up with all that deception, so she quit her high-paying HR